In terms of phases, patch 2.4 is miles away, and when I say in terms of phases, we know it's going to be phase 5. It was the final content patch or major content patch of TBC back in the day. So phase 5 is going to be our final content patch of classic TBC. 2.4 brought much more than just Sunwell Plateau. In fact, it was a bit of a convenience patch. That's how I would probably word it. It introduced multiple things that would just help you gear up to get into 25-man content that bit faster. One of these changes was the removal of the Karazhan attunement. You would still need someone to be able to open the gate, so you need the Master's Key from the quest line, which starts outside and then takes you into several dungeons, which I'm sure the vast majority of you have done. But not everyone needed to complete the quest line. You just needed one person that physically had the key to open the gate. So you could literally walk in Karazhan at level 68 and start getting gear, as long as you had someone, obviously, with the key. So you probably sat there like, okay, why are we talking about phase 5 when we've only just got phase 2? Well, actually, the Karazhan attunement's gone, and it's not phase 5 yet. So look, I don't know if this is an oversight, which is going to be reverted back at some point. I do sincerely hope it is. I don't want to believe that this is intentional, personally. But phase 2 also removed the requirement for the attunement quest, which to do this during tier 5 content, I personally think is absurd. For some reason, I sort of remember maybe in a dev interview during sort of the hype around it before it even launched, and I sort of got this niggling feeling in the back of my head that they actually said whenever the next tier of content is launched, the previous tier's attunement will be removed. But obviously that's not how it was back in the day, nor is there any mention of this in the patch notes whatsoever. The reason I really think this is absurd, actually, to remove the Karazhan attunement during Tier 5 content is because, technically, outside of some smaller additions like Engineering Goggles, Swift Flight Form, and even some of the reputations, we're technically still in the first raid tier of content rollout. And when I say raid tier of content rollout, I know we've got 2 tiers, we've got 4 and 5, but they both launched together back in the day. So to me, it's one big tier, if you like, even though it's different tiers of gear. I know what I'm trying to say. Shut up. And then obviously following tier 4, 5, which came out together, then we get Black Temple, then we get Zolaman, and finally we get Sunwell Plateau, which is where the Karazhan attunement was removed, all the way at the end of the end of the content cycle completely for TBC. The attunement was gone when the final raid was launched, which is a long way away yet. So what does it mean and why am I talking about it? Well, let's be honest. Without being negative, the population in general on TBC has declined. We can see that. You're reading about people quitting at a fairly frequent rate because they're burnt out or they just can't find anything meaningful to do. Now, obviously, this is not what the video is about. This video is about the fact that you can get in Karazhan at 68 with no attunement. All you need is someone to open the door. But it's not a time to be removing quite large portions of content, which the attunement is a large portion of content. Because you have to think about it, by being able to skip something that keeps people doing dungeons, because let's not forget every person that needs to get attuned now is forming Shadow Labs groups, they're forming Steam Vaults, Alcatraz, Old Hillsbrad, Black Morass, all of these dungeons, they're forming groups. This means without forming these groups, there's going to be less traffic going into these dungeons, because most people will just skip the key quest or just go back and do it at some point with a lot less urgency. Having reduced traffic in dungeons this early on in the life cycle of Classic TBC is not a good idea, which makes me think this isn't even an intended change, or at least I hope it's not. There's reputations, of course, that people will go back and do dungeons for, at 70, a Druid will still want to get the Cenarian Expedition reputation, for example, but there'll also be some people that can't be bothered to farm reputation. They'll just want to get into raids. So yes, they might do their tier 5 attunement, but the tier 4 attunement's the Karazhan attunement quest in general, it's quite long. It's something you can start at 68. I'm not going to say it's fun. No one likes doing attunements, but it is removing a big portion of content from someone who is going to start, during tier 5. Say you've just started the game this week. You've heard tier 5's out. You're like, yeah, I'm going to start playing TBC now. I don't think it's the right time to be able to skip a big attunement like that, personally. So I do truly believe the removal of this attunement will see a decline in dungeon groups either way. This could be good news for you, though. If you've been struggling getting groups for your attunement quest, or you haven't even dinged 70 yet, maybe you're just 68, you can go and start doing Karazhan at 68, 69. You can start going weekly now. If it's only your ult, you're not that in a rush to get to 70, you still ain't going to be missing out on the gear because, let's be honest, your guild's probably not going to turn you away from a group just because you're not 70, because they can probably 7 or 8 man it by now. But as I say, please do go look at the patch notes yourself. I'll even put a link in the description below. I can't see anywhere where it says about the attunement being removed. Like I say, attunements play a big part of TBC, and my fear is that if this is intentional, when Tier 6 launches, obviously the Tier 5 attunements are going to be removed, and this, over the course of the expansion, this is definitely going to affect the player base in a negative way. Because even though no one really likes doing attunements, it does practically force you to do things you wouldn't ordinarily do by choice. Such as even going and doing the quests, over in Shadow Moon Valley, the Cypher of Damnation quest line, there's going to be no point in doing it. Things that will just be made null and void by removing these attunements too quickly. I'm a little bit worried, but as I say, maybe it's good news for you. Maybe you don't care. You've just got a level 68 that you want to start pumping in Karazhan in, and you could probably go and do it as soon as you've seen this video. And that's it. It was just a real quick one. As I say, if it gets reverted, it gets reverted. But what day are we on? It's Sunday, so you've got a few days where you could actually just get in and get a full Karazhan clear done without your attunement being complete, and then it gives you time, and you're not going to miss a week's worth of loot, if you know what I mean. If you're currently 68, you might as well try and get a group done quickly, just in case it does get reverted, and then worry about getting a tune before Wednesday when it resets. But anyway, I'm just going to roll a quick outro just thanking all the people that have joined the channel as a member, because I really do appreciate that. Obviously, thank you for the massive support. That's on this channel or SJ Gaming Live, which has actually got more members than this one, strangely. And then obviously all my patrons as well. So I'll just run the outro now, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out. Okay, so I just want to say a massive thank you to you guys up there that have joined the channel as a member. It really does help out, especially you guys that have joined the channel as a member here and on SJ Gaming Live, so you get to see the member-only live streams over there where we check out things like Ascension, Frostmourne, the new White Main server that's launching in just is it only 2-3 weeks, something like that? I don't know, but that's only on SJ Gaming Live. Obviously all the hardcore content and everything is all on this channel, and obviously you patrons as well, really appreciate the support there. All the links to this is in the description below. Consider joining, and I'll see you on the next one.